treble. Completed it, mate. Hello, citizens, and welcome back. This is our match reaction from Man City 1, Inter Milan 0 in the Champions League final. We actually got there. We reached peak football. We've completed it. So make sure to hit the like button, hit subscribe as well, and let's jump into it. So there we are, treble winners. It was an immense night, wasn't it? And I think, you know, we've come a long way as a club, and you know, looking at how far we've come in such a short space of time is absolutely incredible. And before the game, the build up to it was absolutely immense, wasn't it? You know, you had, for hours, for days, for weeks leading up to this match, everyone calling us failures, saying that Pep was going to overthink it, calling him a failure, calling him a flop, ripping into some of the plays as well for not having won it, and everyone calling us basically a joke. We're basically laughing stock somehow, because somehow dominating your domestic competitions isn't enough. You have to go win this because this is everything, and everyone going on about how this is the only competition the club actually cares for, and it's the one we've not won, which I don't believe, by the way. But the build-up to this was incredible, and you could see the relief off the players when they won it. You could see the emotion come out of them, and I think watching it as a fan, watching them just release all their emotion and crying on the pitch and dropping to the knees afterwards and seeing how much it meant to them, that was how much it meant to us as well. I think they've lived through the journey with us. We've all been together, as the club like to say. We really have lived through this together, and it's been an absolutely incredible journey. And I think all of us who are over 13 remember the bad days, and we're there, and we're at Luton away in Mansfield and teams like that. And, I remember being at Grimsby as well. For those of us that remember those games, it's been incredible. It really has. And I remember when United won the treble in '99. I remember where I was. I remember watching at home thinking, God, I hope they don't win because I have to go school the next day and be ripped into. With us having played Wigan that same week. I think it was Sean Goat that scored to get us to the playoff final against Gillingham. I remember that day. And again, if you look back to then, following City was not that easy unless you went to the games. The only way to follow us was on Teletext, CFAX, or BBC Radio Manchester. And even then, we weren't always the main game. People like Ian Cheeseman, when you grow up with voices like that. It's been an incredible journey. And like I said, in such a short space of time to where we are now, I don't think it's quite sunk in yet, if I'm honest with you. I mean, I'm doing this the day after, and it's still a bit of a blur for me yesterday. And like I said, it's just a release of emotion, and we've come a long way. And those people that say that we bought it, that we wouldn't have got here without money. No, we wouldn't have got here without money, but United wouldn't have stayed where they were without spending money. Liverpool fans like to think they don't spend money. They do. And I think it's how you spend it and how you recruit and how you build your facilities. And I've gone back to it so many times when we first got bought, and Caldoon has said in interviews, we'll be the envy of football in 10 years' time. And he's right. We've done things, and the way we've done them, we've changed the way football's done. And you look at our infrastructure now, and you look at our stadium, and the investment in the local community, and the investment in the squad, the backroom staff, everything is just perfect. And we are the envy of football right now. And yeah, we're the team to beat. We're the best team in Europe. We're champions of England, champions of Europe. We can sing that now. And there's going to be people that say that you have to win it 3 times, you have to win it 5 times, you have to win it 10 times, or you have to win it 15 times. We're going to hear that now. The goalposts are going to keep moving for us. But you know what? Once we've done it once, like we saw with the Premier League, like we saw with the Carabao Cup, once you get over that line, once you beat that personal demon of yours, because, we got beat there 2 years ago, been knocked out in semi-finals so many times. Now we've got over that line. I'd expect us to go on and win it again, and we're already favourites for next year's competition. So, yeah, this club right now, honestly, and being a fan right now is absolutely immense. It's incredible, and there's so much emotion that goes with it. And, we could sit here, with the game yesterday, I could sit here and I could rip into a couple of those plays in that first half, because we did play nervous. We did play with a bit of anxiety. We weren't our usual selves. We were giving the ball away. Touches were heavy. Passes were awful, and Inter defended really well. Inter played really well. And if you ask me, I think Inter probably had the better game than us throughout. I think they were the better team. I think we've got a bit of a lucky one there a little bit. I think we rode our luck a lot, particularly in that second half. Kanji made some big mistakes that, like I said, I could rip into him for, but I'm not going to. But the players stepped up in big moments. We won this game in moments, and I said it for the FA Cup preview as well. It's all going to be decided in moments, and that game was decided in moments. So was this one. And Rodri, big moment, and I'm really glad Rodri got that goal as well, because Rodri is one of the unsung heroes in this team, the one that rival fans like to disrespect the most, because you don't really see him, you don't really see him turn up. But that's because he's doing his job. He's helping the defense. He's helping link up plays. He's just staying in his little area and he's doing what's needed to be done. And so him to get this goal as well, I think it's massive for him and as well. I'm so happy for him too. And I will say about the game yesterday, I think if Inter Milan had scored, if Inter Milan had equalised at the end and it gone into extra time, I don't think we win that game. I think if that game is another 10 minutes long, we lose that. I think the players were dead on their feet. I think they were just playing with what adrenaline they had left. They had nothing left to give the players from this season. And you could see that at the final whistle when it went. I think they were all just relieved the game was over. Some of them more than the fact that they'd just won the treble or the Champions League. They were just glad it was over so they could end it. And yeah, it was a big game yesterday. And standout performers for me, like I said, Rodri did what he needed to be done. He had a bad first half, in my opinion, but second half, obviously, he gets the goal. Eddie and John Stones. I tell you what, Edison was absolutely phenomenal yesterday. That second half, he turned up in a big way. I've been critical of him as a goalkeeper, as a shot stopper. But I tell you what, in the last couple of games against Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, this one as well, he's turned up massive. Edison, absolutely massive. He was colossal last night. When he saved the Kanji, when he made that mistake, coming out to claim that long ball into the box from their keeper towards the end. The save from Lukaku. They're going to say Lukaku missed it, which he did. He should have scored, but Edison still had to make the save. And the save at the end that, is going to go under the radar a little bit from the corner. Big moments. And he pulled it out of the bag when it was needed, and that's why Pep sticks with these players. That's the faith he put into them as fans. Edison was massive yesterday. Can't get around that. He was the second best player on the pitch for us. And a shout out to Ruben Diaz as well, because that save from Lukaku, when it comes back at him from said, I thought he'd scored it on goal. I'd stopped for about 5 seconds because I thought he'd put it into his own net. How Diaz got that round the post when the ball came at him at that speed from point blank range, I have no idea. And the other one, like I said, John Stones, man of the match. He was at the heart of everything we did. We defended well with him. We attacked well. Everything was going through him. He was like a conduit for us. Absolutely phenomenal yesterday, John. And he said that he didn't play that well, but I thought he was immense, and I would have gave him man of the match. I know Rodri got the goal, and he got it. But John Stone's man of the match for me, and then Eddie close behind him. Yeah, so big game. Well, like I said, it's treble winners. It doesn't get any better than this, so it doesn't matter what happens now. It doesn't matter what happens next season. We've done it. We came out. We conquered. And no one can say anything. There's no criticism to be leveled at the players. There's no criticism to be leveled at the squad, the backroom staff, at Pep. We've done it. We've absolutely done it. We've spent well. We've recruited well. And you look at the last 2 years, the players we've brought in, everyone's done their part. Everyone this season that played did their part. We had some big standout performance towards the end of the season, like Gundogan, when we needed him, when De Bruyne got injured. And like I said, Edison's turned up as well. Ortega did his part in the FA Cup. It's just a big team effort, and I couldn't be prouder and I couldn't be happy. Like I said, that it's just not quite fully hit me yet, even though it's the day after. The emotions just, I think it's all going to come out tomorrow at the parade. I am going to go to the parade. I think it's all going to come out there. I'll tell you what, it's big. It's big. And it's just nice to shut everyone up, isn't it? Everyone's gone quiet for a little bit, and I'm enjoying all the conversations about City ruining football. I had someone message me on Twitter saying, you ever even heard of Main Road? Oh, yeah, I have. What's your point? So big time for us. And yeah, that's it. I mean, like I said, I'm just rambling on now because I don't know what else to say, and I don't know how else to praise the team other than going to be a party tomorrow. It's going to be a party all summer. And that, I will say, one of the things I am happy about that we've won it. I was saying to my dad yesterday that more than anything, really, I want to win this game. Not just because of the treble, not because of the Champions League and we've not won it, but you just don't want to end going into the summer on a sour note. The season we've had, the way we've come back in the Premier League was huge. The way we won the FA Cup, standing up against United at the end, and winning this as well. it just means that we can go into the summer nice and happy. And if we hadn't won this game, even though we won the double, it would have put a sour note on everything, and we would have had all the flops, failure comments for us for months. But now we don't get any of that. Now we get everyone not wanting to talk about football. Now they're talking about we've ruined football. Well, I hope we continue to ruin football for a very long time, because this win is great for English football. This win is great for English teams in particular. You don't want teams like Real Madrid to win it every year. You don't, because they're the kind of team that are ruining football. When you got their president coming out, and president of La Liga coming out and ripping into the English teams for spending money. I know he directs it all at us, but he's saying it to the whole of England. He's just getting on the Man City bandwagon to do it. So this is big for English football. It really is. And you got West Ham winning the Europa Conference League as well. It's big news for English football. It's good. Everyone should have wanted us to win this game as well, because City are not the enemies to English football. We're not. And we're pushing back on the big teams. We're pushing back on the elitist teams who can spend this money and think they can because they're bigger than us. But we're allowed to spend money too. And we're pushing back on financial fair play, because financial fair play in itself is an absolute joke. The fact that teams can go hundreds of millions of pounds in debt and still be able to buy players like Bellingham. Look at Barcelona. They still buy players. They do what they want. They don't care that they're nearly $1 billion in debt, whatever. But no one ever mentions it. They don't mention the teams in debt. They don't mention teams that can spend money like that because they're big clubs. But little old City, the noisy neighbours, when they try and spend money, it's the big problem all of a sudden. Why? Because they're elitist. They don't want clubs like us joining them in that bracket. Well, unfortunately for them, we've overtaken them. We're the biggest brand in world football now for the first time. I think we're the first English team to be there as well. And now we're treble winners. We're going to go and play in the World Club Championship probably. There's no stopping us. There's absolutely no stopping us. And I think as long as Pep stays there, and as long as good to see Sheikh Mansour there, wasn't it? Yesterday. And if the club keep doing the way they are, it's, like I said, we're setting a standard. We've set a new standard, not just for other people, but we've set a standard for ourselves as well, where 90 points in the Premier League isn't good enough, even for us, because we've set that standard. Scoring 100 goals a season isn't good enough because we've set a better standard. So, yeah. And now the treble, is that good enough? No, you're going to have to win it twice in a row. Then it's good enough. Then you're going to have to win it a third time in a row. Maybe it's good enough then. And so it's just all about setting standards. This is the perfect way to end the season, and it's a perfect end to a cycle that we've had for the last 25, 30 years of where we've come from. Everyone that's helped us here, like Aguero, Silva, Golter, Richard Dunn, all these players. Joe Hart as well, he was massive at the beginning of this. Torre, all of them, Company, of course. All these players that have played their part. All these players that have done their bit to get to where we are now. They're never going to be forgetting about the fans. Of course, we're never going to forget them. Even Edin Dzeko, who played against us yesterday, how massive was he for us in that second title win? And, well, in the first one as well, when he got that second goal before Aguero. All these players, they've got us here. It's just immense. It's great for Manchester, honestly. It's massive for us. And like I said, I'm just relieved, and as you can tell, I'm still rambling because I don't know what else to say. I honestly don't know what else to say. So the way I'm going to end it, the way I'm going to end the video, the way I'm going to end this season is with maybe a rallying cry, maybe a little joyous little song that I'm going to butcher, I'm sure. But yeah, feel free to sing it out. And it goes, Edison and Ake, Walker and the Kanji, Ruben Diaz, Johnny Stones, best defense in Europe, we're Manchester City, on our way to Istanbul. Oh, we're the boys in blue. Oh, coming after you. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.